About a year ago, I created a video showing off some of the rarest cards in Magic the Gathering's history. But boy, oh boy, it has been a year. Not only have I learned about some rare cards that I bet you've never even heard of, but 2023 has also brought us some of the rarest cards ever printed in Magic's history. So, without further ado, here's Magic's Rarest Cards, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo! In 2023, Magic the Gathering released their Lord of the Rings collaboration set, Tales of Middle-earth. Included in this set was the One Ring. But despite being obscenely powerful, the One Ring wasn't actually that rare. In fact, this version was included in every one of the set's bundles. But, you know Wizards, they just have to be extra sometimes. They commissioned alternative artwork for the card and made one copy with that artwork. You heard right. Not only does this card combine one of the biggest trading card games with the biggest fantasy series ever made, but it's also a one-of-one piece, the only copy in existence. While this isn't the first one-of-one card Wizards has made, in the past, cards like these were reserved for celebrities or the winners of big tournaments. But with this card, anyone who bought a collector booster could have pulled it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Paying $40 for a collector booster just in the hopes that you get a card worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, that kinda sounds like a legalized form of gambling. And, well, if you are thinking that, good! You're paying attention! Bounties for this card existed before the set even came out, with people willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for this small slab of cardboard. The card was eventually pulled and soon after sold for $2 million, making it the most expensive card in the game's history. The buyer of the card was actually Post Malone, and you know, speaking of, for years, Magic has been trying to get celebrities interested in the game. To aid in this, Magic has created various cards and celebrities' likenesses over the years. In 2008, Magic printed the Actors Special Guest Gift Cards. Christ, that's a name. These were mechanically unique cards that contained a photo of an actor on each of them. The pictured actors would receive copies of the cards, and then the rest were distributed to Wizards employees who had worked on the project. There were only between 45 and 60 copies of each card made, making them pretty rare. However, the caveat here is that Wizards used a different card stock than normal, meaning that these don't really look or feel like real Magic cards. Then, in 2010, Wizards made at least 6 Robot Chicken cards to give away to the show's writers. Again, these are extremely rare, but I've seen some conflicting sources online that say that this might just be a regular Magic card with a sticker on top. I don't know though, I haven't been able to find anything to confirm this. After this, Wizards would for the most part stop making rare cards to give to celebrities, and while they would still try and get them invested in the game, they were, for the most part, unsuccessful. Then, in 2021, superstar Post Malone appeared on an episode of the YouTube series Game Nights. Evidently, he was a seasoned Magic player who had not only been playing the game, but also studying it for years, and it wouldn't take long for Wizards to officially partner with him, and he has become the de facto celebrity ambassador for the game. Over the years, he's gone on to appear on many cards, but the one that we're interested in today is Post the Enchanter. This is a one-of-one reinterpretation of Zur the Enchanter that was given to Post for his birthday in 2021. While the art on the card was reused in 2022 as part of a secret lair, that version wasn't full art, meaning that the version given to Post is still a one-of-one exclusive. But enough about the cards that you'll never own. Let's talk about the cards that you can pull from packs right now that you'll still probably never own. Serialized cards are variants of pre-existing cards with a number stamped on the front of them. They started making these in Brothers War and have never stopped. Not every set gets them, but the ones that do will seed them in random collector boosters. Sometimes these will also feature exclusive art or foil treatments, but most of the time, the only thing that makes them special really is the number. And in terms of print runs, the highest we've seen for these has been 900, and the lowest, not including the One Ring, has been 100. But hey, you give me 10 bucks on a Sharpie, I'll make any card serialized. I mean, just look at her. Ain't she a beaut? Personally, I find these cards kinda boring. I mean, there's nothing really unique about them. Most of the time they don't have unique art, there's no interesting story behind them, no history to them. Wizards just want to make a rare product, so they just slapped a number on the front of pre-existing cards. It actually seems like many people agree with me on this, as despite their rarity, you can find most of them for only a few $100s. Now, over the years, we've seen Wizards produce a ton of rare cards, but they didn't mean for all of them to be rare. Heck, there's some of them they didn't even mean to make at all. Misprints are cards released by Wizards of the Coast that were in some way damaged or unintentionally altered during the manufacturing process. Over the years, we've seen a wide variety of these, from small mistakes to colossal errors, and going over all the types of misprints is a video for another day, but just know that there is some wild stuff out there. And would you look at that? A fold that's definitely from the factory. And for you, I'm only asking $5 for this puppy. In terms of rarity, well, it's really up to you how much value you put into these. Most misprints are one-off mistakes, meaning you'll usually never see another card flawed in the exact same way. On the other hand, though, most of these cards are pretty common, and if they weren't misprinted, they wouldn't be notable at all. There's just so many different types of misprints, I could do a whole video on it. And, if you want to see that, subscribe and leave a comment below. In terms of value, misprints vary wildly depending on the severity of the mistake and what card it's on. If you just have a minor crimp on a newer common, then chances are it's not worth much at all. But if you have a major error on an older rare, then you could have some good money in your hands. But I'm just scratching the surface on rare Magic cards. I didn't even get the chance to talk about Secret Lair prize cards, artist proofs, or any of the other one-of-one cards Wizards has made, because yes, there's even more of them. But for now, if you want to see more rare stuff, why don't you watch another video or subscribe to the channel? Because if my analytics are right, those are some pretty rare things to do.